The story revolves around Tony Beets, a 40-year mining professional who has already had 2 wash plants losing pay at his Indian River claim. This early start this year is great for the SLO lot and the shaker deck, which is currently at its highest gold price. Tony wants his son Mike to run a 3rd wash plant, and they plan to work at Paradise Hill for a week to prepare. The difference this year is that instead of equipment being split into 2 ways, it is being split into 3. Kevin, who worked for Tony for 20 years, is taking a ton of it, as his job doesn't come with a pension. He has been working for the company for over a couple of years already. Kevin's eldest son, Kevin, is getting ready to mine his own ground, and he has leased the Scribner Creek claim from his dad. He plans to set up a gold mine and run it, with a 1,000-ounce goal. Faith and Kevin have to make this work, and Kevin's first goal is to get the borrowed equipment up and running in used condition. The story also touches on the past experiences of former logger Parker, who has been working for the Snobble crew for 6 years. He feels great about today's flying sunshine and the opportunity to start the operation. The story ends with Kevin returning to the Yukon and expressing his excitement to get started in 2015. He is excited to start the new cut and has some equipment waiting for the dozer. Kevin's father, Kevin, has leased a 44-acre claim from his dad and identified the 11-acre Lynx cut as the most likely to yield the best gold. Kevin wants to be slinging in 4 weeks, but first needs to rip and strip overburden from the first 3 cuts. The team is excited to see some gold again and is ready to start getting equipment. Brennan's first job is to carve an access road for all the equipment to reach the cut. He is a great asset to the operation, as he knows the ground well. They are all young and ambitious, and they want to make it happen. Kevin has been waiting for Tony to drop off a D10 dozer so he can begin ripping the frozen ground on his claim. The dozer uses a detachable steel ripper claw mounted at the back, but the TI-10T piece of steel is missing. The team is fighting to get enough thaw every day with the 480S down right now, which is not good timing. They have to split the car body off the undercarriage, which is a big job. Parker clears waste material from the long cut to get to pay, while Tyson digs ditches without the vital 480 excavator ripper after its catastrophic breakdown. The team is working on breaking all those bolts loose right away to investigate the damage. Parker's crew must separate the 480S upper cab from its track body first by unscrewing the 30 bolts that hold the upper and lower bodies together. 2 hydraulic rams will be installed at the back of the upper cab, and an operator will lift the front using the boom arms bucket, splitting evenly the 58-ton excavator. Once clear, the lower track will be pulled out, allowing the mechanics to assess the damage. The only thing holding the whole machine top and bottom together is the ring of bolts, which is 75,000 pounds. Adequate blocking and stands are working on the last bolt. 2 30-ton rams and air over hydraulic power packs will be used to lift the machine, taking care of the back end and the front end. Taylor needs help, and they will run the car body back from the loader. The team hopes to safely lift the machine, which will be quite a task. Bill takes charge of the excavator using the boom and arm to raise it at the same time as the hydraulic rams. The team is close to coming out the doll, and they are excited to see some gold again. They are excited to get the equipment ready and work on the equipment to get the operation back to work as soon as possible. The water supply to the house is not working properly, and a restriction in the line has created a blockage in the pipeline. This blockage is likely due to the heavy check valve, which is not opening up all the way. To fix this, the team is going to replace the old one in Tony's boneyard, which should match the new one. The problem around the downspout is causing frustration as the pump cannot loose without water. Kevin needs to drain the 2,000 plus fet of water from the system before replacing the faulty check valve. The team will take the old one out and see if they can fit the new one in. The fix itself isn't that big, but it requires draining over 2,000 plus fet of water in a 12-in pipeline. Kevin suggests going a little further and then closing the side of the valve to isolate the system. They will now need to drain the other side of the valve. The team is now ready to start the repair process, and they are excited about the results. They are happy with the outcome and are looking forward to the next step. As they work on fixing the issue, they notice that they need to use a pry bar to remove the check valve. This is not surprising, as this happens almost every time they try to fire up something new. To avoid this, they could have determined the size of the check valve and the pressure needed, or tested it before connecting the water last week. To reach Tony's wash plant, the pump must push the water nearly half a mile uphill at 500 gal a minute. After fixing the water issue, they plan to fire up tomorrow morning to see what they will get. On the other hand, Parker Schnabel's business is finally operating at full throttle, and the squad should not rely on just one SLLE box in order to survive. Big Red is slinging the money pit after spending 3 months going down to pay at Dominion. Keenan Stewart's Lucifer is cleaning dirt in the El Dorado cut, while Big Red is slinging the money pit. Assuming that the team is able to maintain it functioning during the entire week, Parker will finally be able to determine whether or not his $15 million investment will be profitable. This year, Parker has mined more than 60,000 ounces of gold till he reaches the point where he is profitable. At the moment, there is a great deal of strain on revenue, but they have 2 plants that are all operational. One option is available to them. They can either keep the wings of the Lucifer set separate and clean them as if they were 2 distinct cleanups. In the first cleanup of the week, gold recovery expert Chris Dumit processes the material that was extracted from the El Dorado cut. It appears that Lucifer has an excessive amount of gold, which is the source of Parker's concern. There is almost certainly a problem with the plant, and they require a wash plant that operates in a reliable and consistent manner. It is imperative that Tyson Lee maintains the operation of both plants in order to forestall any further potential loss of gold. Tyson examines the plant to see whether or not it is level and whether or not it is tilted to the right. If this is the case, he will turn off the plant and then proceed to position the excavator in the front so that it may begin removing the wash. Rather than sitting in a straight line, Plant's Lucifer is slouching toward the tailings conveyor that is located on the right side of the building. It is necessary for Tyson to raise the plant level and construct the pad in order to achieve a balance in the distribution of pay throughout the slopes and to acquire all of the gold inside the area. In order for Parker to be on schedule for his 5,000 pound season, he needs to eat 300 ounces of food for the first week of the El Dorado cut. It is necessary for him to see at least 230 ounces of gold in the money pit, which would add more than $11,150,000 to their overall money for the season. As time goes on, the group is getting closer to discovering what it means to have a successful run on Big Red Dominion. They are pushing 40, 350, 370, 380, 390, and 400 ounces of product, and they have a large thermos that is a heavy two-hander. It is approaching close to the midway point of the season for the club, and they are making decent progress. The money pit is being thrown by Parker toward the end, and the squad is getting closer and closer to achieving their objective. They will remain on Discover Australia Hit until a later time, during which they will continue to keep track of the progress that the team has made and make adjustments as required.